Hello and welcome, all you amazing dog lovers. If you've ever found yourself wondering, hey, is it okay to share just a little bite of my snack with my best friend? Then you have definitely come to the right place. Today, we're diving into a really crucial explainer that every single dog parent out there needs to see.
Oh, you know the look. We've all been there, right? Those big, soulful eyes staring up at you, maybe a little whimper while you're trying to eat your dinner. It is so hard to resist sharing. But here's the thing. What seems like a simple little act of love can sometimes hide a really serious danger. A dog's body it's wired so differently from ours, and a lot of the foods we enjoy are actually poisonous to them.
And that's exactly why we're here today. I mean, giving your dog healthy food is, of course, absolutely essential, but knowing what not to give them, that might be even more important. Here at Love Dogs, our whole mission is to give you that clear, simple information you need to keep your furry family members safe, happy, and healthy. Okay, let's get right into it.
So, here's a quick look at what we're going to cover. We've broken it all down into 6 easy sections. We'll kick things off with sweet treats, then move into some surprising dangers from the garden and kitchen. After that, we'll talk all about meats and bones, and we'll wrap up with some really simple rules to keep your dog safe.
All right, first up, let's talk about the very things we think of as treats. It's kind of ironic, but some of the most dangerous items for our dogs are hiding in the snacks we think are the sweetest. The first one is a huge one, xylitol. You're going to find this artificial sweetener in so many sugar-free products these days. For dogs, it is incredibly toxic. Even the tiniest amount can cause their blood sugar to plummet, which can lead to seizures, liver failure, and, even death. And just look at this. This really shows you how potent this stuff is. For a small, 10-pound dog, just one single piece of sugar-free gum could be a toxic dose. So, the main takeaway here is this. You have got to check the label. Always check the label, especially on things like peanut butter, before you even think about sharing.
Next up is the one most of us have heard about, chocolate. The real villain here is a substance called theobromine. Now, we humans, we can process it just fine, but dogs, they just can't. And there's a really simple rule to remember here. The darker and more bitter the chocolate, the more theobromine it has, and the more dangerous it is for your dog.
So what about sharing a little scoop of ice cream on a hot day? Well, it's really best to skip it. For one thing, a lot of adult dogs are lactose intolerant, which means dairy is going to cause some serious stomach upset. Plus, it's just loaded with sugar, which isn't good for them and can lead to obesity. And worst of all, some flavors might have those hidden toxic ingredients like chocolate or that super dangerous xylitol we just talked about. Okay, now let's step outside into the garden for a minute, or maybe just over to the fruit bowl on your counter. You might actually be surprised to learn that some of the most natural and healthy foods can be a massive threat to our dogs. Now this is a critical one to remember. Grapes and raisins are completely 100% off limits. Scientists still aren't exactly sure what the toxin is, but we know the result can be absolutely devastating. They can cause sudden, acute kidney failure, which is often fatal. And that goes for anything with grapes or raisins in it, from juice to trail mix.
And what about avocados? We love them, but they contain a toxin called persin. Now, while it's perfectly safe for us, it can cause some really serious problems for dogs. And it's not just in the fruit, it's in the leaves, the pit, the whole plant. On top of that, that giant pit is a major choking hazard and could cause a deadly blockage.
Here's another one to watch out for, and it's often hidden in things like cookies and other baked goods. Macadamia nuts. What's really distinct about these is the specific symptom they cause. While they can lead to vomiting and tremors, the most common sign of poisoning is this really strange weakness in a dog's back legs. Okay, let's head back inside to the kitchen. The dangers aren't always in the obvious snacks. Sometimes they're hiding in the very things we use to season our own food every single day. Onions and garlic and anything in that family like leeks and chives are a huge no. They have something in them that actually damages a dog's red blood cells,
That means those cells can't carry oxygen through the body the way they're supposed to. And this is so important. It doesn't matter if they're fresh, cooked, or even in a powdered form. It's all dangerous.
Now let's talk about salt. It seems harmless, but dogs need so little of it. To put it in perspective, a medium-sized dog, say around 33 pounds, should only have about 200 milligrams of sodium a day. When you think about how much salt is in our chips, our pretzels, our table scraps, you can see how easily they can get way too much, and that can lead to salt poisoning.
So, sticking with the kitchen theme, let's just quickly cover a few more common items that you absolutely need to make sure are always kept well out of your dog's reach.
Okay, this slide covers 3 big ones. First, caffeine, in your coffee, tea, soda. It dangerously overstimulates a dog's nervous system and heart. Then there's alcohol, which in any form is highly toxic and can cause organ failure. And here's one you might not think of: raw yeast dough. If a dog eats it, that dough can literally expand inside their warm stomach, causing a painful, twisting blockage. Plus, as the yeast ferments, it produces alcohol right there inside their belly.
All right, let's tackle a topic that has a lot of myths around it: giving dogs meat and bones from our table. I mean, it seems so natural, right? But there are some major risks involved.
Just think about things like bacon, ham, or hot dogs. They're incredibly rich in fat and salt. Now check this out. This fact is pretty shocking. Just half of one hot dog can push that same 33-pound dog way over its safe daily sodium limit for the entire day. And that's not even counting the toxic seasonings like onion and garlic powder that are often in them.
And what about bones? Okay, this is a huge debate. But the most important thing to know is the difference between cooked and raw. Cooked bones become brittle. They can easily splinter into sharp pieces, causing internal damage or choking. Raw bones are generally safer, but you have to follow the rules. They must be large enough that your dog can't possibly swallow them, and you absolutely must supervise them the entire time they're chewing, no exceptions.
Woo! Okay, we've covered a lot of don'ts, so now let's switch gears and focus on the do's. How can we take all this information and turn it into simple, easy steps to protect our best friends?
It really just comes down to these 3 golden rules. First, get into the habit of checking labels for everything, especially for that sneaky xylitol. Second, just make it a household rule: no table scraps. It is the absolute easiest way to avoid all the problems with salt and seasonings. And third, be proactive. Secure your pantry, your cabinets, and your trash can to keep those curious noses out of trouble. At the end of the day, this is what it's all about. Our love for our dogs means we have to protect them, and that includes protecting them from foods that could harm them. We really hope this explainer has given you the knowledge and the power to do just that. For more essential tips on keeping your dog healthy and safe, please be sure to subscribe to our channel, Love Dogs.
So, we'll leave you with this question. Now that you're armed with all this information on what to avoid, what's a safe and healthy human food treat from your kitchen that your dog just goes crazy for? Go ahead and share your ideas in the comments below. It really helps our whole community of dog lovers. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to Love Dogs for more explainers just like this one. Thanks for watching.